Hey everybody, it's Lazy Rider 56. Welcome back to the channel. It's another beautiful spring day here in York. It is now May, and just like that, April is over with, and we're starting a new month. Now, for today's ride, nothing spectacular here. I'm taking the, little bit of a bump there. We're taking the bike up to I-85 and back, and taking it by Highway 5. And I've filmed this before, so nothing new here. But my goal today is to test out this motorcycle seat pad that I bought on a more longer sustained ride. Like I mentioned in my previous video, when I bought the bike, I noticed I was getting a lot of pressure on my tailbone. And I bought this motorcycle seat pad off Amazon. And last week during the shakedown cruise, it seemed to be working pretty good. I didn't notice anything. But it was also 35 minutes and it was stop and go. This will give me a chance to test it out on where I'm riding it for a more longer sustained time in a fixed seating position with no stopping. So this will kind of be more of a true test to see if this pad really helps out. We'll see. I'm optimistic, but we'll see. First thing I want to do is I'm going to go stop up here and top off the gas tank. It's my first time putting gas in this, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, I think I'm starting to get the feel for the foot positioning on the pegs down. Last week I was kind of struggling with that a little bit. I was struggling to find the pegs because I was used to mid controls rather than forward controls. But I think I'm getting there. Again, also I noticed last week, the same thing here, pushing 60 miles an hour, the wind blast is fine. It's not bad at all. When I first got my Triumph and I went 60 miles an hour without a windscreen, I got blasted. You could really feel it. But on this bike, I mean, I feel it, but it's not bad at all. I think it's because I'm lower to the ground and more forward, whereas on that Triumph, you're sitting at a much more upright position. All right, so that gets us gassed up. So that's the first time I've ever gassed up this bike. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to set my odometer, my tripometer. Oh, never mind. But the first time you always gas up a bike for the first time, it's a little weird because you're not fully used to how the gas tank works and what it looks like when it gets filled up. I know it's something simple, but every time I've gotten a new bike or a different bike and went to go gas it up, it was always just weird that first time. I don't know why. I guess it's because every motorcycle has its own eccentricities or just ways about them. And even small things like filling up a gas tank can be different from bike to bike. But we got that done. Got that first fill up out of the way. And so let's get ready to head on up to I-85. Okay, now that we're kind of settled in on the way to I-85, I don't know about the rest of you. I'm the kind of person, I have very vivid dreams, and I remember a lot of them. Not all, but I do remember a lot of them. And I guess because I notice them and pay attention to them more, I guess you just realize how strange they get. You know, I retired last year, so I'm coming up on, what, 9 months now since I retired? And since then, I've had this strange recurring dream. It's not scary, it's just weird. So in the dream, just so you know, I went to Appalachian State and I graduated from there in 1988, and I ran track and cross country. I was a distance guy. And in this dream, I am still a student athlete at ASU now at 60. I've never not been one. So in this dream world, I have been going to school, being a student, and running track and cross country every year for the last going on 40 years. And in the dream, I'm it's the beginning of the year. We're gearing up for cross-country season, and I'm really concerned that I'm not going to be able to compete against these new guys coming in. You know, they're young, and I'm 60, and how am I going to compete with these new guys? And then I start thinking about, well, I'm 60, I ought to be retiring. But I can't retire because I've been going to school for 40 years and I have no money saved up. And then I won't even have Social Security because I haven't been working. And then at this point, my logic part of the brain starts to kick in saying, why in the world would you be competitive with 20-year-olds when you're 60? And then I start to ask myself, why would I have not been working for 40 years? And then I wake up. But it's a brief moment of panic. Like, I can't compete with these young guys, and I don't have any money for savings. I'm a failure. I'm a loser. And then I wake up. I don't know what that means, but I've had different kind of slightly variations of that several times over the last year or so. And another one I have, it again takes place in present day. I'm just chilling around the house, and I decide, you know what, I want to go hang out in Boone for 2 or 3 weeks. So I get on the bike and ride up there, or get in my car and drive up there. And I pull up at the old parking lot of the old apartment complex we used to live at, Campus North. It was right across the street from what's now Earth Fair. So I pull into the parking lot, and I go upstairs, and I still have the key to the apartment, and the key still works. I walk in, and the apartment's just like it was when we moved out. And I start to hang out. I'm like, this is cool. I'm hanging out in Boone. Sometimes I walk out on the balcony and watch the traffic go by and look at Howard's Knob. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm hanging out in Boone. This is just a great place to be. And then in some of the dreams, I start calling up people trying to get a party going. Like college kids would party with a 60-year-old guy, you know. And again, the logic kicks in. It's like, why in the world is my apartment still furnished the way we left it? Why does my key still work after all these years? That makes no sense. And then I wake up. Now that one is more of a happy place dream. It's just like, this is just cool, I'm hanging out. But the why of it is what wakes me up. I don't know about y'all, but that's just me. I remember these dreams. I've even kept dream journals at points. Not for very long, but I have done it. Oh, I have actually had kind of a lucid dream. The dream was like this. I was on a roller coaster, but it was a flat roller coaster. It was about 20 feet off the ground, and it just was flat in a straight line. And it went on all the way off into the horizon. And it's surrounded by wheat fields. But there's a creek with some trees running parallel to the track right below me. We're zipping along, and then I look up ahead, and there's signs saying, danger, track out ahead. I'm like, oh crap. And then we crash, and I'm hanging off the track 20 feet off the ground. But then it dawns on me, hey, I'm dreaming. I can just float to the ground. And that's what I do. I just float on down to the ground. I'm like, cool, I'm dreaming. I'm gonna fly now. But in the excitement, I wake up. That's probably about the only real true lucid dream I can really recall having. I've had dreams where I've had brief moments of lucidity, but I wake up. But I don't know, I'm the kind of person that just, these things I remember very well. And I know that's a strange topic to talk about, but it was just something that crossed my mind. You know, you think about strange things when you're sometimes on a motorcycle. I don't know why. So far, so good on this pad. Let's keep on trucking. Okay, so I'm gonna proclaim this motorcycle seat pad, gel pad, largely a success. I noticed that I could definitely ride a lot longer with the pad than without it. Without it, I mean, it's gonna start hurting in 20 minutes. When I rode it home to the dealership at 20 minutes, I was starting to feel that pressure right in my tailbone, and it was really noticeable. But with the gel pad, I can go about 30 minutes and I start to feel a little bit of pressure, but it's more spread out. It starts spreading out across my rear end a little bit more. And I think at about 40 minutes, I start to feel a little bit of numbness. No, I wouldn't say numbness, but maybe the lack of blood flow. But I can scooch my rear end around and that kind of fixes it. I think realistically with this pad, I could squeeze out 45 minutes to an hour of just solid riding, at which I'm gonna have to stop. That may not sound like much, but it's a big improvement over what it was without the pad. So for the money, it was $50. It was on sale for $39.99. For a low-cost fix, I'm gonna say I'm more than pleased with it. Okay, so we're at the wrap-up point. So thanks for joining me on this ride. Beautiful day. Got to go check out the gel pad, made sure it's working, and it seems to be working pretty good. Gonna call it a success. Thanks for listening to me talk about my weird and crazy dreams. And thanks for listening, and thanks for joining me. So we're gonna wrap it up. Lazy Rider 56. Like and subscribe. Have a great day.